friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, thank you for watching. If you haven't already done so, my previous video will show you how we started and got to this point, but today we'll be doing this. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into products. First one I used was this jelly base coat. It was from Amazon. I also have this Beetles blooming gel and my Makartt white gel polish, but today I'll be just using that on 2 nails. Also, I have this Beetles 2-in-1 brush that has a dotting tool on one end and a fine liner brush on the other. In addition, a little bit later in the video, you'll also see me use like a cuticle pusher, but that's going to be for the sugar nails, and I'll kind of explain that process as we get into it. But for now, what I am going to do, or what I'm showing here, is using the blooming gel for the first time ever. This was my first time, so if you have any tips or techniques that you use with blooming gel, other than probably I should have waited a little bit longer for it to bloom some more, I am totally open, and you can drop those in the comments below. I am always into learning more techniques and more tips and tricks, and then anything that I learn along the way I will definitely share with you. For now though, I went ahead and just put a thin layer and covered the entire nail. Next I'm going to go ahead and use this white Makartt gel polish. I'm just going to get a little bit and put it here on, I guess, a random little something I found. I normally have my dish, but I couldn't find it, so for video purposes, I'm just using this. I'm going to pick it up on the liner side and just make sure it's fully saturated and start drawing the lines of how I'm going to walk that croc print to like start. So I am starting higher than where it's actually going to show, but that's because when it is ombre, I want you to kind of see that print underneath that like jelly base color. So starting here, we're just doing a couple of lines that are going down the nail, and then I'm going to start doing both sides. I did them kind of at like a 45-degree instead of doing them straight, just because I wanted it to kind of curve with the nail a little bit. If you know a better technique, again, please let me know. But this is how I did it. I also repeated that same on the other side before actually putting the nail into cure. Alright, and so this is what it looked like. I let it sit for like 10-ish, 15 seconds. Probably should have waited a little bit longer, but I'm going to go ahead and cure it at this point. Before we get into the next step, which is going to be using that jelly base coat color. So once it came out, I went ahead and used this jelly base coat, and I am just going to use like the lightest amount because I don't necessarily want it to go down the entire nail. I'm just using it mainly to cover up kind of where we started, so there was no harsh beginning. And then I'm also going to kind of drag it a little bit past that so we can start the ombre pattern. Alright, so once that came out of the light, we're going to go ahead and repeat the last step once again. So just using the smallest amount of that jelly polish right at the base, and then kind of over where we began to ombre. And then here I'm just taking that little tiny detail brush and kind of swiping it through just to drag the color down a little bit more. As you can see, it's starting to look like an ombre, and then we'll go ahead and get this all cured. Finally, once it comes out, we are going to go ahead and jump into the next nail. I'm going to be using this here. It's like an iridescent white, but there's also some pink and green shimmer to it. I am going to put a piece of paper underneath because it does get kind of messy when doing like the sugar nails, but here's where the cuticle pusher comes in. So that will make it a lot less messy, so you don't have to like pour it all over. What I'm going to show here is just the beginning or the first step. So we are going to lay down the white. This white is pretty pigmented, so I don't have to put like a thick coat or anything like that. And we are going to put a second coat. So this one will just go in and get cured for 60 seconds. You actually could probably even do 30 seconds. And then we are going to go in with our second coat. This one is going to be the one that the actual glitter is going to be stuck to. So I'll show that process here. There's the infamous cuticle pusher. So we'll go ahead and use that to just sprinkle lightly. You don't really want to like shove your finger in or put too much glitter just because you're going to be wasting a lot and it's already messy. So we'll lightly coat the nail. Right now it has not been cured. It just has that second coat of the white gel polish kind of as a sticky layer, and then we'll be curing after we're done like doing this part. But I'll go ahead and just get quiet so you can enjoy the next step. Okay, next, the fun part, we get to decorate. So I got these off Shien. I think it was $30 and that included the box. And they're really, really pretty. They are like different colors. They're really big. I don't think I've used them. So I'm gonna take this first just as a base coat so that way I can cover like the clear middle nail. I don't want to do a completely clear nail. I wanted it to kind of just blend in with like the ombre. So we'll do that first and then we'll get into placement. Alright, so out of the lamp now for the 60 seconds, I'm going to go in with this diamond gel and this DIY gel. Both of them are from ENC Couture. So the diamond gel is a really thick top coat. It is a 2-in-1, so it's used to actually place the diamonds down or any kind of stones or embellishments. And then it like cures and it's a shiny top coat. So I use this first just to make sure that I don't have to go in around the stone with a top coat, and then I'm going to take the squeezable tube of the DIY gel just to actually adhere the stone. Now I couldn't find my tweezers, so please bear with me. I know you can't really see because my big old fingers are all in the way, but I was trying to get it placed good without actually using, you know, what I needed. And then I took this little UV flashlight to just flash cure that larger stone in place, and I'm trying to be really careful not to actually hold it for too long near the tip because I do want that to stay a little tacky so I can apply some rhinestones in a second. Once I decided which stones I wanted, I went with little tiny emerald colored stones, and I chose like a small, a medium, and then a slightly larger one just to kind of place so it wasn't one very large embellishment and nothing else tying the green in with the set. And then originally I was gonna do the ring finger also white, but I ended up changing that. So this is what that middle finger looks like, and I'm gonna go ahead and continue on now with the ring finger. I am going to use my Beetles gel polish. I covered up the original color, but I'm going to show you inside here. It looks black, but it is like a really dark emerald jelly color, so it's almost translucent. I really like it for like sugaring, but not necessarily like covering the nail, or you're going to need like 4 to 5 coats. But it's really, really pretty, and I'm going to just be quiet now so you can see me do exactly what I did on the pointer finger, but just on this one. Okay, friends, so we are all done with that nail now, and we are moving on to the pinky and almost completely done. So, going in, I decided just to do the pinky and thumb together so that way they look the same and tied the whole set. I'm going to be using that blooming gel from Beetles once again, just in a thin coat over the entire surface of the pinky, and then doing those same steps we did first. So taking the liner brush and drawing some white lines just straight down the center of the pinky nail, and then at 45 degrees, little tiny lines on both sides before curing and getting into the ombre. Okay, we're almost done here. We're going to go in with the last little bit of stone placement. I'm using ENC Diamond top coat, which is like a really thick top coat, so it will hold these itty bitty stones on. And then tying that green that we did on the middle finger on the thumb here. And we'll be curing that for 60 seconds. Then moving on to our pinky finger, we're going to be doing the exact same thing. So again, going in with that really thick top coat from ENC, coating the entire nail, and then going to be placing that really small emerald rhinestone on just the cuticle area. I decided just to do one instead of two. I just thought it looked a little bit better and it was a little bit different from the thumb, but we'll cure the entire set after this for an entire 60 seconds just to make sure that everything is all done. And then I'll show you some pictures of the final look. But thanks again for watching, guys. If you have any questions, or even if you have tips or tricks of your own on how I can maybe get better at what I'm doing, please feel free to reach out to me in the comment section below, and I will answer absolutely everyone. Thanks for watching, guys.